You finally decided to take the step on bidding on government contracts. Great, huge market, lucrative deals with the government. But to get started, there's a lot of complications, a lot of tasks. Someone tells you you need to register somewhere. Someone needs to, you don't need to go on SAM.gov if you're doing state or local. What do I do? I made this the simplest way possible on getting started into government contracting. All the steps you need to take, 6-week plan, and also a free tool that you can use to go through your first 6 weeks from all the way no registration to having some sort of pipeline that you can actually bid on. Before we get started, if you can hit the subscribe button so you get notified when new videos are being uploaded, and we're going to cover everything government contracting related. And if you can leave a like on this video, support means a lot. Now let's get started. So in this video, we're going to cover the 6 weeks plan that's going to take you from, again, discovery and setup all the way to bidding. In week number 1 is going to be the foundation setup. So we're going to get rid of and check off everything related to setting up our company, our business, what we need to do specifically to work with the government. Week number 2, we're going to start discovering opportunities, searches, keyword searches, which websites to look on for government contracts, understand the sources. Week number 3, we're going to talk about a hidden layer that no one really actually talks about, which is intelligence and research. The 4th week, which should be the biggest, now we're going to prepare our first bid package, and we're going to go through all the steps to preparation. Week number 5, we're going to have some sort of a pipeline that we're going to need to manage. And in week 6, we're going to start scaling, optimizing, and repeat all the way from week number 2 to scaling again. All right, for the foundational setup, here's your registration checklist. You need to register on SAM.gov, which is an easy part. I also have a video on that one. SAM.gov is system-wide management for government contracting. This is where the government puts out the public federal opportunities. It's required for every government bid federally. During the registration, post-registration, you will be getting your UEI and cache code, unique entity identifier, and your cache code. This is basically your business number or your ID number, but for any government work. This is how the government will identify who you are. Now, step number 3, identify your NAICS codes. Which NAICS codes are the most applicable to your business? Again, I will go through the free tool that will help you through all of this process right after the 6-week setup, but we're just going to walk through them together first. And in number 4, you're going to build your capability statement. I'll also leave resource below on how to generate your first capability statement. Now, with the setup in place, we can now get started with phase week number 2, which is discovering opportunities. We already know which NAICS codes are applicable for us. We should have our capabilities listed. So we're going to go through SAM.gov, or you're going to build your AI profile on SamSearch, and you will need to set up your saved searches and alerts. That way, you're always getting the most recent contracts. At this stage, I would disregard the past awards and going through past awards, which are the contracts that haven't expired. There is a point and a need on why you need to look for those, but as you're getting started, do not get overwhelmed with those. And then either on SamSearch, the AI platform, or on SAM.gov, set up your search alerts to get notified when new contracts are being uploaded. The difference between using AI software like SamSearch is you will be getting qualified contracts only. However, on SAM.gov, you will be getting all contracts that are under your NAICS code. So if you have the software NAICS code, you will be getting all software contracts. Whereas if you are, let's say, a cloud system or AI company, and you only do that kind of work, you will only be getting that kind of work instead of getting everything software related. Now let's move on to phase number 3, research and intelligence. You need to look on websites like usaspending.gov to see which agencies buy what you sell. You need to research incumbents. So go on these awarding pages, look up each company, try to find the past awards they've gotten, how much they've gotten it for. This will give you some sort of threshold and some sort of idea about the market on how much these prices are going to be. You can also get the AI-powered insights by SamSearch to see those patterns, see upcoming contracts that are being released, and also identify target agencies. It's so much better when you go to a specific agency, drill down to them, their contracts, their contacts, make sure you have some sort of relationship with the agency instead of just bidding blindly on all sort of agencies. This rule is more dependent on the industry than another. So for defense contractors, for example, this will be completely different than a construction company. Now, week number 4, the heavy lifting. This is where stuff is now getting serious. We're going to start preparing our first bid. These are the main highlights of what you're going to write in your proposal. You need sections like technical approach, how you're going to approach that project specifically. So if you're in construction, you're going to talk about how you're going to build it, the materials, the tools. If you are in software, cybersecurity, you're going to talk about your processes and everything related to your technical approach. And then also you're going to talk about your past performances. Again, this is something that being thrown left and right. Do you need past performances or not? It's kind of like the chicken or the egg. How are you going to get your first contract without a past performance? But how are you going to get your first past performance without a contract? The government does award contracts to first-time companies that are bidding with the government. The way I see it when I work with companies is you should be working commercially, have your commercial line already going, then work with the government. The government will see your commercial line as some sort of past performance, especially with the way you put it out. In number 3, the nice part, pricing strategy. You're going to break down your cost, your expenses, profit margins, etc. And in number 4, you're going to get your compliance checklist. You do not want to get disqualified because of a compliance requirement. 71% of companies get disqualified because of a compliance requirement, which honestly sucks because they're not being disqualified on the tab of work they will do. They're getting disqualified because of a missing compliance matrix. So either draft it manually or use SamSearch to get it drafted for you, just to speed up the process as a whole. Now, we're going to start our pipeline management. You want something that you can identify, qualify, pursue, and then track. You want to create some sort of a system. Do not neglect creating a system in the beginning. Stuff will get overwhelming really fast. And if business picks up, you will have a lot of administrative work that is going to be a burden on you. So manage your pipeline in a way where you can identify contracts clearly and fast, qualify them fast, pursue them, and then track your winnings, track your losses. This will make it a lot easier for your post-award process, which is either the debrief or operating the work. But also when you have some sort of a managed pipeline, it makes everything clear, which honestly eventually will increase your winning probability. All right. Drum roll, we submitted our first bid. Now we want to scale and optimize. Review your process. See what you did. See what worked, what didn't work. What tools did you use? If something was really nice and efficient, capitalize on it. If something was not really so efficient, didn't move the needle, skip it. Don't waste your time on it. See what certifications you apply for. You can now add more burden work of the paperwork, registration, set-asides, all that kind of stuff. The most important thing is don't do more than what you need to do before you get your first bid out of the door. You want something that is a system built to get you on an output-based system. Anything you do before submitting a bid is irrelevant to the government. They don't know what they don't know. You should quantify your output in a productive way where how many bids am I going to submit? How many agencies am I going to contact? How many contracts or prime contractors am I going to reach out to? Those things should be your milestones rather than research. That's why I really advocate for fast research. However, it should be thorough, but the majority of the time should also be spent on preparing your bid if you are just getting started into government contracting. When you lose a bid is as productive as winning a bid in the first stages, because during the debrief, if you requested it from the contracting officer, what's the reason you lost and what was exactly the issue? When you have that, you won't repeat the same mistake over in the next bid. So to finalize everything really quickly, start today. There's 6 months week setup, a foundational setup, discover opportunities, intelligence and research, first bid preparation, pipeline management, and scale and optimize. And for the tool that I'm going to leave below, it's a free tool that you can go ahead and use right now where you can get your personalized onboarding setup. So this is how it works. You just put in your website. We're going to use Microsoft as an example. You click on analyze and you will get specific search queries for you. You can use those keyword searches on SAP.gov, for example, or you can just use the semantic smart search on other platforms like SamSearch. And then right here, you'll have your entire checklist. So if you're just getting started, you would be right here. If you have a growing business, it would be right here. Established contractor, there's also another setup for it. We're going after you just getting started. So you'll have what you'll need, and then you'll have your step-by-step plan. And you can use this as a checklist as you're going through everything that you need. You can also download your plan to have it as a reference. And then as you can see here, it's implemented on the 6 weeks program. That way, in every single week, you have exactly a few things that you need to do. That way, it speeds up the process and you keep track of all of your tasks. Try the link below. Again, it's completely free. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I always read the comments. And again, please hit the subscribe and like button. And thank you for watching.